Hi, thank you, and welcome to my channel. This message is in regards to the 7 Hermetic principles, and I will speak and touch upon each of them and give a little bit of detail, but you certainly can go ahead and research this. They are immutable laws, which just means that they are unchangeable, and we are all subject to them. Everything flows within these principles, and that is the nature of this reality. In order for you to really grasp the nature of this reality, you definitely would need to understand these basic principles. And in order for you to maximize your ability to manifest your destiny and see that you are a co-creator in your life, you definitely need to be able to master the understanding of these principles. So we'll just go ahead and get started. The first principle is the principle of mentalism. The second is the principle of correspondence. The third is the principle of vibration. The fourth is the principle of polarity. The fifth is the principle of rhythm. The sixth is the principle of cause and effect. And the seventh is the principle of gender. Now let's just talk about mentalism. This is about the oneness of it all. Everything is in the mind. Now, from the Kybalion, it says, the all is mind, the universe is mental, and we must understand the oneness of the universe in that every aspect in creation is still connected to that oneness. Everything is spirit, and to understand how we create based on thoughts. We first receive information as a thought, and then we make it manifest through our actions, and it becomes something that can be brought into this reality, but it first must start as a thought. And that is the phenomena of life, and that's the phenomena of matter. It all starts in the mind. So if you can grasp the mental nature of the universe, you're definitely on a path to mastery. And this is about self-mastery as well. So when you are really good at deliberate creation, your mind is a very powerful tool in order for you to focus your thoughts on things that you are looking to make manifest. And the power of the mind is what you need to understand fully and have it balanced fully for you to direct your thoughts in a manner in which you are intending in order for it to be brought forth. And we all have to understand that whether we believe it or not, we are co-creators of our reality based on our thoughts and the way that we vibrate. Most importantly, if we're negative in nature and we're negative in our thoughts become our reality. And most times when we're in that low vibration or that polarity of self, we tend to not pay attention to the fact that we call things onto ourselves that we don't necessarily want. And it's just like if a person speaks before they go to bed, oh, I'm going to be late for work tomorrow, and then it's a self-fulfilled prophecy that they become late for work the next day. We all have those moments, and sometimes when we are very low in our vibration, we can tend to not pay attention to the fact that we become our own self-fulfilled prophecy. So this is just a tool to really understand and grasp that if you can manage to take advantage of your thoughts and also manage them in a way where you are deliberately focused on what it is that you want as opposed to what it is that you don't want, then you can become a master at your own destiny and creating the life that you desire based on the way that you're able to master your thoughts. The second principle is the law of correspondence. The Kybalion says, as above, so below, as below, so above. Now, we have to realize that we are fractal energy. And what that means is that what you see is a reflection of the all. And even if you monitor, things in nature, you can still look at it as a reflection of the things that in different natural kingdoms, you can relate them to other aspects of yourself. If you kind of watch nature and observe the animals and you see their tendencies, and you can relate how those tendencies relate to your situation. And that's how people sometimes read spiritual guidance through whatever appears in nature. And it's just about just corresponding with everything around you and realizing that we are a piece of the whole. If you want to look at it like this, if you say there is a cup of water and there is also an ocean of water, the water is still the same, but the cup is just a fragment of what is in the ocean, and the ocean is the larger body of water. However, it's all the same. It's still water. And that is what the law of correspondence is really about. It's the microcosm and the macrocosm. Everything is a reflection of the next. So if you can really understand this principle, you'll be able to allow yourself to correspond with every bit of a reflection that you see in your reality. Because if you go back to the first principle, you are reflecting in your reality what is your mental state. So be mindful of that. Now, the third principle is the principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Now, this is a quote directly from the Kybalion. Now, with this being said, we know in physics this is definitely something that they've been studying, and we're able to determine that we're made up of atoms, and atoms is just nothing but energy moving at fast speeds with light particles and very, very little bit of actual mass of matter. And the fraction of a fraction of a fraction of percentage of matter that we actually exist in, it really takes you to understand the nature of this reality, to know that if it's all vibrating, if it's all moving, things can be bent, and that you have the ability to bring things into fruition through creation. And also that everything is not as concrete as we like it to be, and it allows you to be able to elevate out of your mental constructs, which keeps you on the physical realm of this reality and only seeing things from the physical plane of existence, to being able to enlighten yourself to see the freedom in being able to understand that if everything is moving, if everything is not solid matter, then that means we are spirit. Everything is pretty much an illusion. So this reality is not necessarily as it seems. And that is really what you need to understand in order to kind of bend the reality to your will, because this is all about knowing that you are part of the all. You correspond with your vibration, with the vibration of the all. And then once you connect with that, you're able to move as the all moves. And that, when we say the all, it's just the nature of the universe. It is the source of all creation. And that is how you tap into your God self, and how you're able to radiate the vibration at the highest frequency that you were built to vibrate at. And when people talk about vibration, it's something you can feel it. When you meditate and you take time and you have your energy rise or your energy gets low, your emotional guidance system usually is what tells you where you're vibrating. If you're in a negative aspect where you're exuding anger, depression, sadness, this is like a gauge to let you know that you are vibrating at a low frequency. But the highest frequency would be to experience joy and love and happiness and peace. If you are in that polarity, then it's all the same, but it's just a polarity, and which will be the next actual principle. But if you're vibrating at a high frequency with joy, love, and peace, and all of the feel-good emotions, then you know that your being and your energetic self is at the highest that it can go. And the name of the game is just to vibrate as high as you can, so that you may be an open channel to attract all that you actually are mentally trying to deliberately create without such resistance in your energy. If you have resistance in your energy, you bring upon resistance in your manifestations. So you have to be sure to connect to your vibration, to the vibration of the all, in order for you to tap into the power of the all. Now, the fourth principle is the principle of polarity. I kind of mentioned it before, but it says everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same, opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet, all truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. This is also from the Kybalion. I'm reading every quote from there directly. Now, to understand the matter of duality, we say good and evil, but they're polar opposites, but opposites are actually the same. It's just understanding that it's just a different degree of vibration. If we're going back to vibration, the principle before this one, it's a matter of knowing the frequency density that you are on. And if you're, let's say if you're, you can look at it as if you were on a radio station and you have the radio volume up all the way to the max, or you have your radio volume down and you can't hear anything. That would be the example of polarity. It's still on the same channel, but you just can either hear it as loud as it can go, or you can't hear it at all because it's turned down. The volume would basically be a demonstration of what polarity is in this example. However, when we look at things such as love and hate, it is the same frequency channel, but hate is one extreme polarity and love is another extreme polarity. There is no good or bad. It's just about perspective and how you choose to see it. And that's why they say there's no truths, but half-truths. It's because when you think about it, when the truths are basically subjective to your particular experience, they become your truth based on your reality. So truth becomes relative to you. And then there's a collective truth that is relative to the collective experience. However, there's still a nature of that becomes unexplored because it's only looking at it from the perspective of which everyone chooses to agree upon. So when you say that there's no truth, but only half truths, it's just a matter of being able to see things from all degrees and all angles and all dimensions. And a lot of the times, the nature of our reality, with the way that we funnel energy, it's very hard for us to be able to perceive all that is because of the fact that we are fractals of the all. So we are not the entire universe embodied in one being. We're a fraction of it, so we can only intake a fraction of it as well, but we still can reflect the fullness of it. And really and truly, understanding the polarities is about being able to express the highest degree of your energetic being and of your vibration. And the way to do that is, like I said before, is to pay attention to your emotional guidance system. The next principle is the principle of rhythm. It says everything flows out and in, everything has its tides, all things rise and fall, the pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates, and that's from the Kybalion as well. Now, when you talk about rhythm, it's just about being able to, in terms of you tapping into your rhythm, you could do this by exercise, dancing, just moving about. This is basically telling you to tap into your natural flow of your energetic vibration by understanding that you have a natural biorhythm. And because we have a natural rhythm, it corresponds to the rhythm of everything around us as well. And if we understand that particular principle, we can actually live in a peaceful state of being if we allow ourselves to, just flow in the natural rhythm of our being and then other beings around us. Then we can really tap into this principle and understand how mental alchemy works. The sixth principle actually is cause and effect. It says every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause, everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. This actually embodies everything in nature. So people who kind of tend to go through life in a naive state of being where they think that there's luck on their side or there's a chance that they can do this, they are really just at a point where they're not understanding the nature of reality, and when things happen, that there is a reason for it. Everything happens for a reason, and because there's no such thing as chance, it's basically showing you that there is a deeper way to look at things that you cannot particularly explain if you can't see the truth in it. Let's say if something happens to you and you don't necessarily understand why it happens, you don't feel that it's an effect for something you've caused, then perhaps there's a deeper level of cause that happened maybe on a different plane of existence, which if you can come to terms with that, then you'll be able to see the effect. And then there's also times where if a person runs a red light, that's a cause, and the effect of that is possibly a ticket or possibly an accident. These are the motions of how cause and effect works. So if you understand that, then you'll be able to play the game of life instead of getting played and move about by everybody else's will, because everybody's creating for you. You understand that, you'll be able to tap into the higher levels of your own existence and say, well, this is my own reaction. I am going to create a cause that I would like to see an effect. And you can actually have a precognition about what's going to take place because you have set an intention on what it is that you want to take place, and you visualize it through the mentalism of the first principle. And as you continue to vibrate using the law of vibration, and understand that if you vibrate at the highest polarity, which is love, then you can continue to attract everything through cause and effect. And the next and the final principle is the principle of gender. It says gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. And now with this, to understand it, it's not just about male or female. It's about divine masculine, divine feminine. It's about having the properties of the masculine and the feminine within maybe a male or a female. And understanding that everybody holds this energies within themselves. And if you understand that, you can actually see what needs to be balanced, because there is a certain balance that each of us should have within ourselves. But if you are a masculine person, but you don't want to tap into your feminine side, the cause and the effect of that can be a person who isn't able to embody showing that polarity of love, because sometimes the feminine aspect is an expression of that love, or it's a nurturing side of things, and it's just natural because we can see that in nature. Usually the female aspect of whatever is in creation is the natural nurturer. So it's just a matter of understanding that we all have the energies to be masculine and feminine within ourselves, and just being able to balance those out and make sure that we're operating in our full alignment. Then we'll be able to just master all the other principles, as well as, master our destinies and master ourselves, most importantly. So that is what I have for you today. I hope that this gave you great insight into certain laws that will actually allow you to be able to push forward and manifest quickly. If you can understand it, if you can live it, it's not just about taking it in mentally, it's about practicing these laws in your everyday life and being very cognizant of them in all that you do. And then you'll be able to see the fruits of your labor and see the fruits of your efforts if you can just flow with the law of vibration and allow yourself to just get into your natural rhythm. You'll be able to see all things come to you very quickly and in the most unique way. So I wish you the best on your journey. Take care. Namaste.